has to know. Everybody has to understand. Everybody has to have the label to help them heal. And I was like, frankly, that's not true. Because what you're selling is you're selling the idea that if he's not a narcissist, that there's hope for there to be change, and that hope keeps people around longer when they're currently getting abused. The biggest thing that we have to look at, and the biggest thing you have to see inside of your life right now is, how is this relationship affecting you? What is it costing you on a day-to-day basis? How is it impacting your world? You see, when I'm talking about the word cost, I'm not just talking about financially, even though many of you have been abused financially or taken advantage financially simply because he kept using you to get what he wanted. But what I'm also talking about is this piece inside of, it's cost your life so many different ways. Many of you have shown up and it's cost your physical health. It's cost your ability to be able to function and have the same type of energy and vitality that you normally would, that you don't have anymore, simply because all of your energy goes towards him. You feel drained, you feel exhausted. Some of you developed autoimmune disorders because of the stress involved of this relationship. It's produced so much stress and so much anxiety. It's produced different gut health. It's produced different headaches. It's produced different things that have impacted your body, even hair loss. Why? Because trauma inside the body has to have a place to go. And right now, there's pieces of you that trauma is screaming, trying to get out of your body because it's been used and abused and manipulated for such a long period of time. It's like, I have to release it somewhere, and it's going to release it on you. Oftentimes in a negative way, in a way that's hurting you. It is an impact spiritually. It'll disconnect you from God, because why would God allow this, or why would God let this happen to you? It'll disconnect you from going to church, or disconnect you from other people that might be able to help inside of that phrase, just simply because oftentimes narcissistic abuse will even come through a religious background. A place of, well, you're supposed to respect me, you're supposed to give in, or you're supposed to forgive and forget. A bunch of stuff that ends up being a bunch of BS that the narcissist is using to try to control and manipulate you so that you stay inside of toxicity. So that you don't leave, so you don't grow, so you don't develop, so you just stay inside of the confusion and the chaos that he's built, the prison that you're currently in. Is that a massive impact, and it's cost you dearly inside of your friendships? The people that you have in your life that are inside your world, that are like, hey, these people are no longer a part of your life simply because they've been tired of being around the toxic guy. They've started to leave because you can't talk about anything else except for the stressful relationship. You start to find different people pulling away because they just don't want to hear it anymore. But even more than that, it's cost you time with your kids. For those of you that have kids inside the toxic relationship, you aren't even present with your kids. Focusing on the kids, that is a hard piece for you to do. Not because you don't want to, not because you don't love them, but because you have so much other things put on you in the moment. Maybe what is he doing? What's happening? Who's he with now? What's going on? When's the shoe going to drop? When's the eggshell going to crack? Simply because you have to be hyper vigilant about your relationship with his toxic guy. And as a result, it costs you time with your kids. You being present, you being engaged, you being able to experience peace, joy, freedom. All of that gets limited. But there's another cost that happens, and that's inside of not just finances and not just your mindset and your emotions and not just the people around you, but also in your leadership. You leading as a person showing up in the workplace, you leading as a mom showing up inside the household. Inside of all of this, you showing up as a leader, that's what costs a ton. It affects in two different ways. One, it affects your kids, because no matter what you say to them, you're like, hey, don't get in a toxic relationship, right? No matter what you say to them, it's still going to come down to the fact that if they see mom not actually living for herself, not actually setting up healthy boundaries, they're not going to follow. Because what happens inside of the kids is everything is caught, not taught. You're going to see the kids pick up what you're doing more than what you're saying. And so when we talk about leadership, you lose, and it costs you a ton of leadership with your kids. It also costs you a ton of leadership inside the workplace. Maybe in the particular workplace that you're at, maybe the business that you run. Why? Because inside of there, you know when you can make confident decisions. But coming home, you feel like you have no idea what's even right or wrong or up or down. It's like you step into confidence in one area, maybe inside the workplace, but you come home and you're left with confusion and chaos. Concern of what is actually happening. Why can't I even make these decisions? Why do I feel less than now? And I feel okay here, but I don't feel okay here. Some of you are using work as a coping tool, because at work, you're able to see value. You're able to see this piece. I want you to see inside of this, like you are losing so many different aspects of your world. You're losing your physical health. You're losing your spiritual connection. You're losing your connection with your kids, with friends, and family. You're losing your leadership and your ability to make these decisions with confidence, with certainty. All because of one guy. One guy that's in your life that's slowly degrading, putting you down, slowly bringing these small, tiny words into your life that lower your self-esteem, your value, your worth, and make you feel like you're worthless. Inside of all this, what you need to understand is it's not about the label of if he's a narcissist or not. It's not about what he is or isn't doing with his words versus his action. It's about, hey, how is this actually affecting you? And if all you did today was watch this several minute live and listen and read and go through this stuff that I'm saying right here, right now, if all you did was sit down right here, right now, and you start to write out, how has this affected me physically? How has this affected me spiritually? How has this affected me relationship wise? How has it affected my mindset? How has it affected my emotions? How has this affected my finances? How has this affected my time? How has this affected my leadership? How has this affected my job? How has this affected my business? If you just sat down and you started writing all these things down, it would start to be more and more clear to you that you're dealing with a toxic relationship. Because my job as a coach on side of here is just to help wake you up. Maybe you don't want to hear the word abuse. Maybe that feels weird. How about manipulation? Can you see that you've been manipulated for a period of time? Can you see that you've been gaslit for a period of time? Can you see that you've been lied to for a period of time? That's what I want you to see, and that's what I want you to count the cost. You've been paying a price for a long period of time to keep you stuck in the prison that he built for you. The question for you is, how long are you going to continue paying this price to stay trapped? He's not changing. He hasn't with all the times you pleaded and begged and asked him to be different. He hasn't gone to therapy, fixed himself, worked on himself, shown up honest. And as a result, you're still here wondering, hey, why isn't this shifting? Why is this changing? You've lost so much time. The question is, how much more time are you going to waste? Your time, your value, your self-respect, 100%. Make sure that you start focusing on you. If you're confused of how to do that, if you're confused on how to actually break free mentally, emotionally, physically, whether that's in the relationship with him right now or whether that's even separated already. And the healing process seems amorphous, confusing, because there's so much information out there. I want to show you a step-by-step plan. A process that you can actually walk through step by step using the same tools and action plans that I can show you hundreds of other women that have grown, developed, and that are thriving inside of their life. If you want to know more about this, comment down below, breakthrough. Love to be able to talk to you. Love to be able to help you move forward in the healing process. So leave a comment down below that says the word breakthrough. I'll send you a link. We'll get you connected. We'll book a free call and you can sit down. We can talk. We can build a plan for your healing. Show you a step-by-step process of what that looks like. How long are you going to keep paying the price to stay in the prison that you're currently in versus learning to take that time to invest in you? Your choice. Your decision. Wake up to the reality of the abuse, the manipulation, the lies that are currently keeping you trapped. How is it affecting you? Write it all down. Book a free call. Comment the word breakthrough. Let's talk today. Y'all have a blessed